Greetings, seekers. It's Brooke from BrookeReadsTarot.com. I am joining you today from the fireside at my shop, the High Priestess Metaphysical Boutique in gorgeous downtown Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. This is your weekly tarot outlook for the week beginning February 12th, 2023. And today, we're doing a bonus tea leaf reading because the weather is cold and the cards are hot. So let's keep that energy going and see if I can get any further validation from this week's reading with what we see in the cup at the end of the session. Wherever you are joining me from today, my darling, I hope you are making it a gorgeous, gorgeous day. All right. Okay. As I shuffle up, please welcome my guide and doorkeeper, Fergus. I'm going to shuffle and cut here 3 times, and let's see what we can get, seekers. February 12th, happy Valentine's Day to those of you who celebrate or who feel yourselves in the mood. Do something sweet for yourself and something sweet for your sweetheart. And let's see here. 5 cards. What do we need to know? Oh, and what do we need to do? Okay, my darlings, even though we took a break last week's video, I actually uploaded a casual, candid lecture on the tarot because the previous week's general outlook was intense enough that I thought we needed to cool down. But it looks like we're still coping with a lot of these same ideas, same issues. Okay, so I'm going to put the what do we need to do pile over here, and let's go with the conflict first in the what do we need to know pile. All right, my dear. The devil. When the devil card comes up, it is pretty much what it sounds like. It is anger. It is conflict. It is an over-attachment to the things that do not serve the greater good, the higher self, or the growth, an expansion-oriented spiritual side. Now we must remember, the devil has to honor our free will. That is the name of the game in this realm. So if you will notice, the 2 figures in this card, even though they are chained around the neck, those chains are loose and they can slip those knots and free themselves at any time should they decide to stop serving the ego and its constant hamster wheel of things not being good enough and not being satisfactory. So the devil card is a card that can come up, yes, when we are dealing with dirtbags, when we are dealing with assholes, when we are dealing with bullies, when we are dealing with abusers, when we are dealing with people in a position of power that absolutely do not deserve to be there on a cosmic sense. Not just a, hey, you're an asshole, I don't think you're good enough for this position. No, I mean, this is someone who is there to abuse the power of the position. This is not your run-of-the-mill asshole. Okay? So, so I guess what we need to know for this week is that there are forces, agents of evil at work on the earth that will try to get us to do things that are not in our best interest under the guise of it being our own free will. Because think of it this way. If somebody gives you an apple and they tell you flat out, hey, it's poison, and you eat it anyway, they are completely off the hook from a karmic standpoint for your illness or your demise because they told you it was poison. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it? Are you really exercising your free will to its fullest extent and in the ways that it was meant to be exercised? Anyway, let's move on. A little more conflict in the what do we need to know pile, the Eight of Swords. This card comes up pretty often in these general weekly readings because this is part of human nature that we absolutely struggle with. So the Eight of Swords, you will hear me describe it many times over the course of these videos, over the course of the years as we continue to go on. The Eight of Swords, swords are our house of challenges and difficulties, but also the realm of the logical, linear, rational mind. Eight of Swords shows us that there is a problem, a pretty central issue, it probably won't be that much of a surprise to you, that we need to think differently about, or this is a challenge that we need to rise to. Fine. However, as much as we would like to rise to this challenge or correct the way that we think about this central issue, and the Hanged Man shows us that there is room, there is a necessary change in our perspective at this time, we say, well, if I rise to this challenge or if I correct this issue, then that means that all of these other things that are attached to it, I must also think about differently and will now also become challenges that I have to deal with and rise to. That is a trick of the ego's perception. That's the way that the ego wants you to see it, okay? It is upside down. It's a trap. When you correct the central issue, all of the things that are associated with it, by default, must correct themselves or go into non-being, because as they exist at this moment, they are all predicated on the dis-ease, the unresolved state of this central issue. Okay, so take your blindfold off there, honey, and open up your perspective. The Hanged Man doubles down on that. When the Hanged Man comes up, this is always a voluntary, but not necessarily comfortable, 180-degree change in how we decide to view something, think about something, perceive something. The Hanged Man shows us that the perspective that we are currently laboring under is not serving us. It is actually hindering our progress, hindering our expansion, hindering our ability to see whatever this conflict is, whatever these issues are, as they are, or in light of potential solutions to them. Okay, so we'll see it very often. Our perspective is in our way here. Perhaps no new news there. Okay, now, whatever this challenge is, whatever this difficulty is, this conflict that is evidenced by the devil and evidenced by the Eight of Swords, the Knave of Swords shows us that we may not feel like we have what it takes to even know where to begin to rise to this challenge, to think differently about this situation, or we feel powerless to place the logical mind back in the realm where it belongs. The logical mind is great for balancing the checkbook, but you can see evidence all over our society right now where it is being coupled in inappropriate ways with the emotional realm. Okay, this is a card that says we need to let logic come back into its rightful place. You can't take purely emotional responses, purely emotional situations and make logical, rational sense of them, because that's not the realm in which they're taking place. So there is some balance needed here, but you're going to have to grow into these tools. If using your logical mind to make decisions makes you uncomfortable, yeah, that says to me that your emotional realm has probably been making the decisions for you for quite some time, and it's not going very well because it is creating conflict. We are inserting emotional concepts and emotional responses, reactions into places where it doesn't belong. Okay, facts are facts, my love. And the Two of Swords, which popped out as I was shuffling the deck, this shows difficult choices. This shows difficult choices and an overarching feeling that we may not know enough about any of them, any of these choices, in order to make a wholesome decision at this time well enough. Okay, we've all been there. Maybe we feel like we're stuck in the middle, or there's just not enough information. Things have not unfolded yet to allow us to make a good decision. Okay, fine. That's where the wheel comes in and says, listen, everything is cyclical. There is a time and a place for everything. Every end is a beginning, and things come around and unfold in their own time. Yes? So, whatever this conflict is, whatever these less than ideal choices that are to be made at this time, hang on. Hang on, because this information is going to be forthcoming, and we will say that the Knave of Swords, knaves, again, are untested, immature energy in the tarot. They almost always indicate the beginning of a growth track concerning the house that they represent, which in this case is swords, challenges and difficulties, and the realm of the logical mind. This is also about having the courage to ask for the truth, to demand the truth. The symbolism of that sword for me is always also about cutting away the bullshit and the lies and the illusions. Yes? Yes. So this may indicate a fear that you're having of demanding the truth over maybe a situation where your free will was used against you. You're going to have to screw up your courage and step into that, darling, but use your wits. The wheel says that information will be forthcoming when the time is right and when other things have shaken loose. Okay, there is that. Now let's move on to the to-do pile for the week of February 12th, 2023. Okay, my dears. So let's come in here with the Knight of Swords. Now, when I have court cards that come up and they are in sequence, okay, knaves and knights and kings and queens, when they come up together, this verifies and validates the growth track that is available should you choose to get on it concerning the situations that are swirling around this week, okay? So knights are pretty much what they sound like. They are forward-moving, adventurous, expansive, courageous energies, okay? Knights have to ride into the unknown territory, and they have a mission. They cannot come home without it having been completed. So whatever this challenge is, this difficulty, or this issue that is challenging the logical, linear part of the mind, yeah, you're going to have to get that courage together, and this is something that you have to do. The Knight energy, there is always an element of urgency that comes with this, again, because the knights don't get dispatched by the king unless there is something to be completed. If there is a quest, if there is a mission that has to successfully come to a completion. Okay, so whatever this is, this growth track is available for you, and it is sort of a must do. That devil card is no joke. The devil card doesn't come up when we're just talking about your run-of-the-mill asshole neighbor. The devil card is a major arcana card. Major arcana governs things that are pretty much outside of the realm of the things that we and only we can put our hands on, the physical realm, okay, the mundane realm. The major arcana contains elements that are outside of our control, sort of a coming from the cosmic point of control, let's say. All right. So, like I said, that means that this devil card, this is not a run-of-the-mill asshole. This is an agent of evil that came here to do the work of getting people to circumvent willingly their free will. Yeah, this is not nice stuff. Where's it coming from, my darling? Is this your ego? Is this your attitude? Because the devil is also about self-righteousness. He's the devil. He was an archangel. He thinks who he is. He likes to control. He likes to manipulate. He likes to get people to do what he tells them to do. But it's never with force. It's always with a smile. And day well. You are free and you do get to think for yourself. Well, the ego takes that information and goes, oh, fuck yeah. We're going to serve ourselves and nobody else. Get the fuck out of the way. Yeah. Yeah. Sort of can't downplay that, my dears. Okay? Now, let's come back over here. We got more swords coming up this week, and we've seen this in recent weeks. So I'm going to say that the vanquishing of these assholes, dirtbags, thieves, liars, hasn't quite taken place yet. The Five of Swords reads one of two ways depending on which end of the situation you're on. The Five of Swords can show someone who's coming at you to absolutely screw you. Take everything you own. They'd be perfectly happy to see you destitute, as evidenced by the Five of Pentacles. This is a terrible person. This is a terrible influence. Whatever this is, my darling, you have to clean this up. And you also have the courage to consider that it might be your own ego that you are struggling with, okay? You, me, and everybody else. It happens to all of us. It doesn't make you a bad person, but this is a terrible influence. And if it's coming from inside of you and that shitty little voice that really hasn't helped you at all over your life, has really just been about keeping you squashed and keeping you small and keeping you afraid. If that is what you're dealing with here, honey, there's loads of modalities to get to the bottom of it, okay? Get it finished. All right. So back to the Five of Swords. This is someone who, an influence that would be perfectly happy to see you destitute. This is an influence that would take more from you than what it deserves or what is fair in correcting any sort of transgression or any sort of situation. Okay. Or this is your vanquishing those elements and you taking their weapons away so that not only can they not do it to you again, but they can't do it to anyone else ever again. Okay. And this Five of Pentacles, Pentacles are a house of the material. It's the job, it's the work, it's the real estate, it's the bank account. Five of Pentacles can indicate financial hardship. It doesn't usually read that way in these readings because we would have to be asking some pretty specific money questions in order for that to be relevant. It's usually just not the way that it comes up. The Five of Pentacles more often shows us a situation where we feel like we're on the outside looking in. Everybody else's life is so tidy and looks so comfortable and they look like they're all doing great. And we're out here just feeling like we're getting our ass kicked left, right, and center. And it doesn't feel like the road is going to get any easier. We are tired. We are cold. We're hungry. So that is also a trap, my dear. Don't you ever believe what things look like on the surface. Okay? We live in a three-dimensional world and we have beyond three-dimensional capabilities of perception. Don't accept the surface. It is always an illusion. Okay? Because that free will, that choice also means that people have the right to show you what they want you to see. Not what you need to see. Again, that's why you're going to have to screw up the courage for ask for the absolute truth here. The unbiased, unvarnished, here's the receipts, here's the track record, here's the paper trail truth. Okay? And the elements that would keep you from doing that, they will shut you down in every way that they can possibly think, including, I don't know, ruining careers, ruining lives, ruining relationships, ruining financial health. Whatever the truth of this is, keeping it hidden is a really huge priority for whoever is gatekeeping that information. Okay. And I will say, I want to come back to that Two of Swords. That Two of Swords. The truth of whatever this is, neither one of it may be nice. Neither one of it may be palatable. your discomfort, your dis-ease with whatever the truth of this is, you're going to have to decide how you want to feel about it, because the truth is the truth. And there's no room for the overlay of unhelpful emotional content, other than you got to decide how you want to feel about it. So let's finish up the tea. Whoops. I will read that too. And let's just see what else is happening here. All right. So all of that, you're going to have to sort it out. You're going to have to get it done. These are pretty heavy energies. I had hoped that not reading last week would give whatever these situations were a little time to cool off, but clearly it is ongoing. So get your courage together. Know that you do have what it takes, but you have to start where you are. You have to trust that you are as prepared as you can make yourself at this moment in order to rise to this challenge, figure out the situation, get the truth of what is actually going on. And you're just going to have to go from there, okay? Now, Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles shows that whatever we're doing for money right now, it's pretty good. We've made an investment in our career. Maybe we've made an investment in our education that has transferred over into a way that we earn our living, make money, and the money's been pretty good. But the Seven of Pentacles always comes with a general air of dissatisfaction over the work at hand. Maybe the shine has rubbed off on it. Maybe we are not as enthusiastic as we have been about what we are doing to make money, and that's okay. That's okay. I've pulled this card for myself many, many times, and it's all right. It's just how we're feeling about it right now. Temperance. Temperance, my dear, is exactly what it sounds like. It is balance in all things. It is moderation. It is about learning how to walk in a balanced way between the solid, unforgiving, sort of mundane world of the 9 to 5 and the, keeping that other foot in the nourishing, creative, regenerative waters of the intuitive and the emotional. Okay, we're going to strive for that balance. All right, let's see what we've got in the teacup today. Let's just give me a second here to get tuned in. Well, I have a physician here that is treating a patient. So I will say that now is a good time to schedule your yearly diagnostics. Ladies, get in for your mammograms. Dudes, get in for your prostate checks. Get your blood work done. Springtime is coming. We want to get outside and get healthy and get moving around. So get in, see your doctor, get your regular workups handled so that you don't miss any of the nice weather that will come eventually. And also, too, you know what? When I see a physician working with a patient, that also tells me that your self-care, your physical care, stop neglecting, my darling. We cannot burn the candle at both ends forever. So slow down and take care of yourself. Let's see. What else do I see in here? Pets and animals may be figuring in significantly for you this week. I have a couple species in here. I see a mouse. I see a rabbit. I see a kitty cat. And a flock of birds. a flock of birds. So there may be information coming. You know, we pulled that Two of Swords that showed us, well, and the wheel that showed us that this information, in order to make these decisions, would be forthcoming. Birds also often indicate messengers, messages coming. So pay attention. And it may arrive in a way that you're not usually looking at. And I'm going to say an old school way. This may be a decision or some information that arrives in the snail mail or actually on a piece of paper. Let's see. What else do I have in here? I've got a really big church, a really big church with a really big steeple. So you may find issues of organized religion or gatherings that concern organized religion happening this week. This could be anything from weddings to christenings to, I don't know. It's not something that I usually see because I'm pretty sure most of you know how I feel about the church. But there it is anyway. So don't be surprised. You know what? I hope you walk. I hope you're walking in front of a church and you find a $100 bill. I hope you find a bunch of $100 bills. That'd be great. And I'd say that's it. So aside from the validation of that information being forthcoming, as evidenced by the wheel in conjunction with that Two of Swords, there you go. The real message here is, honey, whatever this aggressive devil influences, it is time to get a handle on this. This is an ego that is absolutely rampaging out of control. Get this handled. And if it's your crap attitude, hey, it's okay. We have all experienced things that just really enrage us, but it's time for you to move on from there. Okay? You don't have to stay there. Decide how you want to feel about it. Weigh your options and wait for this information because this has to change. No good is going to come from serving or continuing to placate whatever this influence is. You can't placate it. It always wants more. Okay? So let's get that done. But don't be afraid. Whatever it is, don't be afraid of it. You have the tools and you have the courage in order to get this done. You just have to realize that you are capable. All right? That's what I've got this week, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me. I lovingly thank everyone who sat with me today. May we have the good sense to pay attention to what we have been shown. Fergus, please close the door until next time. If you enjoyed our time together today, please book a session of your own at brookereadstarot.com, and I will see you next week. Leave me a comment. What is this devil influence? What is this ego that has gone off the rails? What is this for you? Let's see if we can work it out. I'll catch you next week, my dears. Bye-bye.